What up? What up? We are back with the Maniaco podcast, homies. We got my brother here. We're back in business. And what's going on?
I'm sick.
Sick?
Yeah, HIV, if that's what you're talking about.
What'd you say?
I'm sick, yeah.
Wow. What are your symptoms?
Congestion, a little mucus, tired, fatigue, not wanting to do simple things in life.
Wow.
That's it.
Lack of motivation?
Motivation,
Mm.
not paying my bills.
Wow.
I'm losing the house.
Wow. But you're still on with the Maniaco podcast.
I'm losing the kids.
All that, and you're still here podcasting.
I know my priorities.
That's great. That's amazing. What do you do for your sickness?
I pray.
That's always the first thing.
Pray for my sickness.
Wow.
I don't. I pray for appreciation of what I do have still.
Which is what? Sounds like not much.
Well, I'm thankful that my family is leaving. I'm thankful that I don't need to pay these bills anymore. No.
Do you think this sickness is real or is it more psychosomatic?
This is not one of those cases.
This
isn't back pain here. I have a cold or I don't know, some kind of virus that I'm fighting. So I'm drinking a lot of water. I sauna. I still took the dog out for a few walks today and frisbee throws. She enjoyed that.
Yeah, we're all due once in a while. Sloane's here sick too.
It's been over 2 years, I think, since I even had a mild thing. So
yeah,
like legit over 2 years. So yep. Tomorrow I'll work out again. I took 3 days off from working out. So
really?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep, that's it. So that's me. What's up with you?
Let's hop into it. So I wanted to do an episode today on trends or things that I notice in the supplement industry.
Okay.
And I have things that I've taken some notes on. And I also asked the beloved community what they thought. And I have my own, I'm going off my own things that I recognize. And some of the stuff that they had said aligns with, I ran a questionnaire on Instagram and one on YouTube, the community post. And so some of the stuff they noticed are some of the same things I notice. And
let me think I haven't thought about this. You're just letting me know the prompt now. But I would think that blood work is becoming more and more of a thing in the industry, like particular levels that you have, like things that are custom to you.
Never thought of that.
I think that that's definitely a trend that I've noticed.
In the supplement industry.
In the supplement, not just health and wellness, but in the supplement industry.
Yeah, supplement industry.
Let me think. Hold on. Okay, go for it. What have you noticed?
You've noticed nothing? Maybe some of the stuff I'll say will spark some stuff in you.
Yeah.
So, in no particular order of how much I've noticed it, the first one I would say is every single company I'm seeing come out with a liquid glycerol product. I'm seeing every brand come out with their own liquid glycerol product where you take a huge supplement, just came one with a pump, or you just put it in your pre-workout. And so you can have it's like a separate pump product for glycerol. I think it's cool. It has a time and a place. I happen to like the trend personally because I don't really like glycerol much in the pre-workouts and stuff. So I like that they're separating it. A lot of companies, which brings me to my second thing that I notice, they're removing glycerol from supplements. I'm noticing a trend with every supplement company, pretty much. Not every, but there's still a lot using it, but a ton of them in this last year have reformulated their products to take away the glycerol ingredient. They have had huge issues with clumping, pre-workouts that clump up, and glycerol is a very water-based, moist ingredient. So it has been an absolute nightmare for them to use glycerol, especially when they do big runs of a lot of tubs. A lot of times they'll sit there and you'll open a tub and it'll be completely clumped, and it's because of the glycerol. So all the major brands, Rise, Huge Supplements just did it. Just tons of them in GNC and stuff. They've gotten away from using glycerol, and I like that because I'm not a big glycerol fan. It gives a very wet. It's a very wet pump, a very swole kind of pump where it takes away from the vascularity. It's almost like a bloating, puffy look you get that pump.
You used to
And
be big into glycerol. I remember when maybe it was when you first got started getting into it, or I remember
yeah,
saying
yeah, I've
glycerol.
learned about the different pump ingredients and what I really like in a pump. I really like that tight, dry, vascular look, the hard look. And glycerol really takes away. It almost gives like a puffy, bloated kind of look at really high dosages. So the liquid glycerol is way more effective anyway in the liquid form. So you can add it or whatever. It's not my kind of pump. Having said that, the ingredient I used in Maniaco pump is 3D pump. And that's a combination of three ingredients, and one of them is glycerol, but it has to be at a real like sweet spot for me to really enjoy it. And 3D pump kind of hits that sweet spot where it's not so bloated and puffy that it takes away from the tight look, but it's just enough to kind of fill you out and give you a nice like mind muscle connection. Glycerol is really good because you really feel that muscle activated. But yeah, you wouldn't want to really you could just notice the look. It's more of a wet pump than that
Have you
dry.
talked to anybody who makes supplements who has told you that they're like specifically that they're staying away from that, or that they're removing that from their stuff or anything like
All of them. Yeah. Yeah, Jake just did it. He came out with the new Sicario, which you've used. That's all nitrates and stuff. There's no glycerol in it, just because of tons of clumping issues. Everybody,
that? I see.
all the companies I know are really moving away from it. It's just a nightmare for manufacturing. So that's one of them.
Hmm.
Another trend that I'm seeing is just so I know. So as far, do you have, like I see you send me pictures, you have a real vascular look sometimes. You get crazy vascularity by your forearms and
I
your
have a
arms.
very nice left forearm. Yeah,
You have what? You have it. We all have one nice left. I got like a
that's
right
all I got.
pec.
I got
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
but
my
that's everybody. Yeah. I mean, you
yeah.
got like
I
one
got
side or one pec or one
yes. I have a
shoulder vein or, yeah.
and of course as I get leaner and leaner, if I'm tightening up for something, those veins pop and pop even harder. But yeah, my yeah, I got some veins out there for sure.
Yeah. And do you notice what brings those out
Mm,
more?
no, I mean for sure sodium the night before, but
Sodium's big. There's a lot of sodium in pump products.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm talking cheat related sodium. Chinese food or something the night before or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have a great pump the next day. As far as pre workouts and what ingredients are in them, no, I don't really. I have not found a trend in like what makes me pop from those.
Right. Well, what you're saying is probably accurate.
Nothing's like food.
The
Nothing's like.
food we eat is probably more effective than a lot of the pump
Mhm.
supplements anyway. You could eat a pizza, you
I
get
mean, there's a reason that at competitions, yeah, those guys are gonna eat the night before and the morning of and get crazy pumps. I don't think they're relying on supplements. I wonder, it would be a cool question to ask like a pro, somebody who's at that high level of pro bodybuilding or whatever category, physique, classic, whatever, but what it is that they do pre-show, to get the most vascular that they
Yeah,
can.
it's true. And I'm not saying this to be cocky or arrogant. I think that a lot of people at that high level of bodybuilding, I don't even think a lot of them know that much about the like real in depths of a lot of those supplements and pump
No.
ingredients and stuff that the niche pre workout community knows and
Right.
stuff. I think they have coaches who tell them what to
Yes.
take, even at the
Yes.
high levels. And a lot of them, I don't think, I mean, you could look at a lot of the bodybuilders who formulate supplements. Ronnie Coleman has a line, Jacob. They're not like themselves like super knowledgeable about every efficacious dose of
No, no,
ingredients.
but food I think is the way to go. I mean, getting sugar in through whatever source at that point, like a little juice to get to get both the blood flow through the liquid
Hmm.
to get the blood flowing, and then the sugar to get the veins popping.
Right.
I think that's very helpful. And yeah, but I have no doubt that there are some supplements that go along with the food that would just shuttle it faster or enhance it even more. So I've
Right.
done it. I mean, I've taken it, whether that was a difference maker or not, I don't know, but I know that for sure, like having some sugar and drinking a little bit for hydration so that like my blood wasn't too clumped up and that it was smooth, and it helped me show my physique. Definitely.
Right. So yeah, so that's a good point. And then another trend that I notice is all the companies now are coming out with their line of supplements, which they're calling like essential or basic or core. They're coming out with like a very minimally dose, which I think it's kind of a cool thing, like a minimally dosed pre-workout with like 5 or 6 ingredients,
Mm.
just the basics, some citrulline, I'll show you right here. Let me share the screen because I got it pulled up. So like here is huge supplements. Can you see this? So citrulline, beta alanine, tyrosine, betaine, just one basic like 300 milligrams of caffeine, cytocholine, huperzine. Some of them are even an ingredient less or whatever.
Wow.
And I'm seeing that in the last, I'd say 6 months, they're all coming out with like a core or essential or whatever kind of back to like a very budget friendly thing, which
I
is
guess
kind of
what I
cool.
now that you say that, I think what I might have noticed, and maybe this is something that I just happened to notice later, and it's always been done like this. I don't know, but that it's not just multivitamins anymore. It's individual vitamins that are being sold. The vitamin B's, the vitamin D's, the fish oil, the this and that, as opposed to just like a multivitamin. It used to be like, do you take a multivitamin? And now it's like, do you take vitamin D? Do you take
Right.
something
Right. I
individual?
think like we always could have gone to like Vitamin Shop and picked up like an individual ingredient, but yeah, what you're saying, like now a lot of the companies are coming out with their health and wellness lines. That's a really popular thing right now, health and wellness, a greens formula,
Hmm.
like yeah, vitamin fish oils, whatever, different kind of vitamins, and so you can kind of get a max dose instead of a multivitamin that's all kind of
Yeah,
just
for sure.
yeah. So I do like the kind of core essential basic pre's, like for me personally, like I get sent so many pre-workouts and I have so many options. So like it's not something I would personally grab and be like, oh, I'll use that one. But I do think for like a budget friendly option, like most people do not need an insane laundry list of ingredients to pump some iron, including myself. I mean,
No.
just yeah. I mean, and you could have something that's super cheap where you could just grab a scoop and it hits whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just a little boost. I mean, if you even get
Right.
like a 10% boost, you're doing okay. It's like
Right. Yeah.
you don't
I
need
mean,
a
it's
ton.
just got in it one ingredient for some extra pump and some betas and a little caffeine and whatever,
Right.
And so people want the budget friendly stuff. Another trend I'm noticing in the pre workout supplement industry, the scoop sizes are insane.
Mm.
I mean, I am seeing so many pre's now with like protein powder size scoops, 50-gram freaking serving sizes, dude. Just
Huge Rect does that.
so let's see the new Rect right here. That's a good Rect. Rect just dropped They're
34 grams or something scoops or something like that, if I recall.
let's
Something.
see. So there's a new home. So Rectors is one of them, and they're pre 37.6 grams,
Yeah.
38-gram scoop size.
I mean, I have a pretty, I mean, a protein, one of my vegan ones, Vintage Brawn, I think, that's a 29-gram serving. So,
Exactly.
yeah, it's a
You
lot.
feel the problem with that is it's so heavy. Like you feel like you're ingesting a meal. Like there's like Rise Godzilla, like 40-gram scoop, or like Gorilla Mode,
Usually
pre-work.
they mix in there pretty well, and I always down it with 25 or 30 ounces anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm always taking in liquid, but I don't think it actually feels like, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of powder, that's for sure.
It's a lot of powder and a lot of time. Like everything has pros and cons. Like a lot of times when you do too much, the ingredients interact with each other in a way where it kind of, I don't know if diminishing returns is correct, but like it messes up the synergy of the experience. Like when you're doing too much, like let's say I have a Stim Junkie pre. I've noticed certain times if I throw on a huge scoop of pump powder, sometimes the Stim Junkie pre won't hit as good. Like because you're just doing too much. It's too much nootropics and ingredients interacting. It's too heavy, and you don't want to. That's why I like pump pills. They're so light on the stomach. You're not like adding too much. So I think there's this thing with the marketing where it's like people are marketing how loaded their pre's are. Like this is
Mm.
so loaded, and it's like it.
Oh, I like when I have a 5 to 7 gram pre, and they can hit
That's like
cardio.
old school. Yeah, that's old school. Like Jack 3D, it's like a few gram, like a nice
A
little
little
scoop.
little super, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
With a
you
lot of
just got
power.
that insane Labz
Right, that's
psychotic gold.
yeah.
Tastes good, nice orange flavor. You said
Yeah.
and,
Oh, and it lasts. I mean, after my work.
35 servings, and
Hmm.
yeah,
No doubt. No
yeah.
doubt.
I'm with you. I like a few ingredients that go together right that just hit. Like I do not need a ton of ingredients in my pre workouts. There's companies kind of throw the kitchen sink in there. It's called just every ingredient and charge an arm and a leg for it, and 50 trademark ingredients, and it really does not mean much. So yeah, so another thing that I've seen this last year especially, and this is pretty much aside from dark labs, everybody has gotten away from DMHA pre-workouts. Everybody. Dark Labs is one of the very few, and high tech pharma, and they have a different kind of DMH. It's not that same good as Dark Labs has. It's a different kind of vibe. They have their own sourcing, but
Is that the same then as Jack?
that's a high tech
Right. Right.
brand.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. So it's like good. It's in there. It's got the goods, but it's not that same Dark Labs feel, the Jack 3D. Everybody knows that. And the manufacturers have gotten away from using it, so all the companies have been forced to reformulate. Not the companies, they don't want to reformulate, but their manufacturers will no longer mess with DMHA. There's much less supplement stuff going on.
Mm.
A few years ago, it was so often you would get these shady underground bathtub formulas, you don't know where. There's very few of those going on now.
Hmm.
Most of them have all gone a very compliant route, and there's not like there's very few like spiked pre-workouts out there. Like most of them are legit, it seems. It keeps getting less and less. So that is definitely a big trend I'm seeing. What do you think of that?
About all of it? About all these trends that you're seeing?
No, about the DMHA
I mean,
specifically.
I love DMHA. I love it. It's a love-hate relationship with me because during it and afterwards, for the next few hours, I'm feeling amazing. I always have a tough time sleeping on from certain manufacturers. Probably the ones that have the really strong DMHA are maybe it's quality. I don't know, a sign of quality, but I just am not sleeping well on it. So I've been staying away from it myself, but there is nothing like, if we're just going to take in the, say, hour, 0 to 3 of taking something like that, you're feeling awesome. You're having the best workout that you could have, and you're feeling the best that you can as far as mood.
They're clearly super effective. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
super effective ingredient for training. It clearly has a lot of performance benefits.
Yeah. They should make an injectable pre.
They have them. They have
do?
injectable pump. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
It's ridiculous. Somebody messaged me about it like
Yeah.
2 days ago who uses it.
You mean a company makes it that is designed to be injectable?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's got the same ingredients that a regular pre-workout would, or it is very different type of formulation. Got to imagine if you're injecting something that it's a very different kind of I don't know. You're not injecting a 37 gram worth of scoop from huge supplements.
Is right for you.
Can you see
And
this?
visit bigtarvy.com.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We're making some money here, huh? All right. I wish they got somebody who actually looks like they work out.
So it's all geared toward pump, I think.
As I'm so carb depleted,
All right, so we're gonna stop sharing that. I don't want to get copyright stricken, but
Interesting.
so it's all. So the guy hit me on Instagram. He's like, "Yo, have you ever tried this?" I was like, "No, dude. I would not inject pre-workout ever. I don't need a." He's like, "It's for a pump." I was like,
never
"I don't
say never, but
I don't think that's gonna happen." But for a pump, I don't need a pump that bad that I'm going to inject anything for a pump. But yeah, so there's a lot less shady supps going on. Now, here's my thing. DMHA is not actually banned. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that. It gets put on and off the FDA watch list, but it's not actually illegal or banned at this point. And it gets taken off the FDA watch list too, which means the FDA doesn't care at all. But people don't want the problems because they just don't want to deal with it. There's too many issues, and they don't want to get letters saying it's banned again, on the watch list again, and all this and that. So they're just backing away from it. The sourcing is harder and harder to get good stuff, and so they're reformulating. Now, I personally don't think DMAA or DMHA should be banned. I don't think there's a reason that it should be banned. I don't think, I mean, I don't take it and I'm like, this needs to be banned. It's not how
I don't know that there would be any studies for it that show that it has some kind of like either long-term negative effects or that taking this causes that. I don't think so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been taking it.
right.
It seems like the side effect is pretty much awesomeness as opposed to anything else.
Yeah. I mean, DMAA was banned because I guess Jack 3D, there were people in the military or something. The story goes where they took 3 times the dose, something crazy, and it got put on the radar. They abused it.
I mean, when you think of such a small sample, if that really is the reason, like they're talking about a story of a few people or whatever. I mean, God, what a small sample size to be using to make that kind of call. So
yeah,
yeah,
it is ridiculous. So they're saying, I guess they had heart attacks or something like that. So they labeled it as cardiovascular risk. I'm looking at it right now on ChatGPT. It says the Department of Defense removed DMAA from military bases after the deaths of soldiers and concerns about its impact on service members.
Could you imagine a whole army of people that are jacked up on DMAA?
Yeah.
I mean, man, we wouldn't have to put too much more financial support into our military. We just need to give that as the as long as we make enough for that, we'd be superhumans.
Yeah, they'd be on.
Oh yeah, yeah, feeling good. What about peptides? Are those on your talking point at all? As far
They're
as
not in my talking point. I'm not necessarily. I haven't necessarily observed it as a trend. I don't know that enough companies are getting into it.
I think that it's peptide company. I don't know if it's like a lot of companies that have already existed for certain supplements. I don't know how much they're getting into their own peptides. I feel like there are a lot of peptide companies that are coming up, though.
Yeah, like I think like guys like Joe Rogan and some of the people who have been on his show have popularized it, made it bigger, and
I mean,
yeah.
I am like super intrigued by this BPC 157. I don't know
So I
why
looked into that. It
it's
looks
amino
super
acid.
effective yeah. The
Yeah,
BPC, well, there's two kinds of peptides. There's synthetic and there's natural. BPC, I guess, is synthetic. It's not a naturally occurring peptide, I don't think. And I guess it's super effective. The studies are really good. Like,
yeah. I told
promising.
my client started coming the last few months. He's in his fees and he started having terrible arthritic pain to the point where he can't even shake somebody's hand because his hands are so sensitive. And I'm thinking, well, that sounds like right up the alley of what they describe BPC 157 helping, like healing and repairing nerve and muscle tissue and this and that, helping recovery. I'm like, dude, I said, I don't swear by it because I've never tried it, but at least look into this. And don't be surprised. Here's the thing. Don't be surprised when your internist or your doc says, this is not studied enough or whatever. It's like, do your own research on this thing.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of doctors who
You're
back
not going
it.
to, right.
BPC 157 is a specific sequence of 15 amino acids that have been artificially created in a lab to mimic and enhance the regenerative and protective properties of the natural compound. So our bodies do have natural BPC.
Yeah.
So to make this, yeah, it's synthetic.
And then there's injectable and oral. And I was looking I see that when I was looking at pricing and whatnot, the oral is more expensive than the injectable.
Really?
The question is, how much more effective, and I got to imagine it is more effective, is the injectable than the oral? Would you be wasting your time taking something that is oral, or is it still going to have a pretty good effect?
Yeah.
I hope that research continues because it sounds pretty promising. The confidence that I'm hearing behind it from the people who are advocates is like really big. So it would be cool to see where that goes. Definitely.
Yeah. So the other thing is that people who are reformulating with DMHA I've seen them all do a very cookie cutter reformulation with like alpha yo and Ariogenesis. They all all the companies who came out who were like, oh, they're moving away from DMHA. Let's see what their product looks like now. Like Symbiote, After Dark, this, that. I can always pimp. It's always 1.5 milligrams of alpha yo and like whatever Ariogenesis combo. That's like what they've all turned to. So I like the combo. And I do like when I take a pre-workout and I don't have the negative side effects from DMHA and I could take it more often without feeling guilty, like I take DMHA a couple days a week or whatever and space it out always 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, I've never taken it 2 days in a row ever, or even every other day. I've always spaced it out. And, but not having everything like has pros and cons. So like not having DMHA too, you don't have to deal with forcing yourself to eat or any of those kind of things. So yeah, I've seen a very cookie cutter approach to the reformulations, unfortunately. And there's some innovation. They're getting away from that now. And a lot of companies now are also reformulating without Ariogenesis and without alpha yo so they can go international. So like even Ghost got rid of their alpha yo and their Ghost Legend pre-workout, which was huge. And I'm not liking it because they're just cutting out more and more ingredients. And it's making it difficult. If you want an eventful like stim package on your pre-workout, something that hits nicely and, gets you going, they're cutting out more and more because they want to get the international sales. Huge supplements just cut out Ariogenesis and they're wrecked. And that was really one of the main stars of the show for them. The mood elevation part. And so another trend that I'm seeing is a lot of companies are coming out with single ingredients, like you said, with vitamins or whatever, but a lot of them are coming out with like just pure citrulline or beta alanine you can buy, or just creatine, or there a lot of companies are coming out with single ingredients so people can play like mad scientist and stuff. Mix mash. It's cool, I guess, if you're into that, if you like the options. I've never been into that. I've never added beta alanine to anything. If a pre-workout has beta alanine, it has it. If it doesn't have beta alanine, it doesn't have it. I've never been into.
Do you like when a pre-workout comes with creatine in it?
I don't mind.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me. There's nothing.
Usually,
No.
what's the dosage when they do? 3 grams?
Usually it's 5 grams
Oh, really?
that I've seen, but sometimes they've done some weird stuff where
I've
they're
seen
like
3 grams.
3 grams or something like that. And I'm like, why don't they just give you the 5
Yeah,
grams?
it pisses me off because
That's a weird thing. It's like, if you're going to give creatine, just give the 5 grams. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. A lot of
that must be a more expensive pre then, right? Given that they would put creatine, because creatine itself is probably, if you're getting a tub of, well, no, maybe it doesn't make it that much more expensive actually, because pre-workouts are going to be 20 to 25 servings, right? Usually. So
yeah, so like Jake sells creatine monohydrate, 120 servings for $33, unflavored.
Okay.
Yeah, so creatine has gotten a lot more expensive over the last 2 years,
yeah,
noticeably. And so has protein. That's the other trend I wrote down. Protein powders have gotten way more expensive. A lot of people message me still in the thing, and they're like, if it's not $30 for a tub, I don't want it. I'm like, you're going to be very hard pressed to find proteins now that are $30 for a tub. They're usually like 50 or $60 for, it seemed $50 for a tub. See here, transparent Labz, I mean, they're expensive, and this is before the discount code. One tub of transparent Labz is $60.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, like, for instance, what Panda sells Panda Fuel for.
55.
$55. Yeah, 55. And that's before the discount code. You get it after you save. I think my code's 25% off for the viewers or whatever.
Mhm.
15, they're all 15 to 25% off. Yeah, protein used to be $1 a serving or whatever. And a lot of companies have cut out those 5-pound tubs. When I started training with you years ago, 11 years ago almost, I remember seeing you would have 5-pound tubs, I think, or we would get
my
GYMHOMIE and all those. I think they
saw
still
100.
make it. I'm sure they still make 5-pound tubs.
Yeah, and they're expensive. I think they're like
They are.
$110 or something.
Right. Well, whatever it was then, it's gone way up since.
It's gone.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
That was an Obama thing, hating police and increasing protein.
Well, those two correlate directly. Yeah.
Wow. So another trend that I've seen, and these two go together. Number one, a lot of people do not know this because I keep my ear to the streets. DMAA is 100% done. That is one thing nobody will debate me on. I know the people in this industry who are at the very top of the underground food chain. You can't even get the raw materials anymore from China. China is not even selling DMAA anymore. You will not, there is no more legit DMAA. If anybody sees a label, and there's still pre-workouts that come out to this day that claim DMAA, I promise you on anything I love, there is no DMAA in it. So they add other kind of stimulants in there to try and make you think it's DMAA. It's never DMAA. You and I have probably had the very last of DMAA, if that was really it, in crack purple or the old tubs of crack gold.
Right.
No more DMAA. It's been done. Nobody will. If I get any pre-workout sent to me that claims DMAA, I know right off the bat it's BS, and I don't even want to mess with it. It's just BS. So they do now. There's this trend. They do a lot of stuff like that kill switch we recently reviewed that claimed DMAA on the tub. You and I both know there was something else in there, some other weird that was not legit, freaking clean, pure feeling DMAA. There was some stimulant in there. You didn't even feel that great for a while.
Right. I felt good, and then I didn't, like, later.
Right.
It
That was
interesting.
not a chance was that DMAA.
As the time went on, I felt less and less like good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got a few more here. Very high citrulline doses. Dosages 10,000 is very common now.
Wow.
Everybody, Huge Supplements Rec just came out with 10,000. Everybody's coming out with 10,000, which I've taken pre-workouts with that have given me just as nasty of a pump as other pre-workouts with 10,000. So every individual product is definitely different. Just because what's on the label doesn't mean it's going to hit like what's on the label. And there is a diminishing returns with citrulline. I guess it's over 12,000 supposedly. Anything over that, from what I hear, has been it's just completely unnecessary, and it's diminishing returns, and it screws your stomach up. I talked to the owner. He's like, most of that stuff you're pissing out anyway. Your body's not putting a lot of that to use. These insane dosage of pump ingredients and stuff like that. A lot of times less is more, and 6 grams of citrulline is very effective. Saying that you have to have 10 grams or something is that there's nothing that shows that. And efficacious dosages and stuff like that is a really BS thing. The studies about supplements are so skewed and screwed up. Most of it is BS. So yeah, that's the new trend. More citrulline, more. Anyway, so another trend that I'm seeing, and you'll tell me how you feel about this, is everybody's doing inclusions in protein. So you want
like
cookies?
DEI inclusions?
There's no D. We've gotten rid of the woke inclusions.
What?
There's no DEI in protein.
You're saying there's cookies and cream, though.
You get cookies and cream and protein. Yeah. Everybody's doing. You want s'mores? You're getting real freaking s'mores in there. Graham cracker bits and freaking little marshmallows in your protein. You want freaking ice cream sundae. There's this bit. Peanut butter candy. You got little Reese's Pieces in there.
I don't know. I find it weird. I mean, I understand it tastes good. It
does taste good. It makes it enjoyable.
That to me is the problem. It's like
it's extras, right?
What am I having? Yeah. I mean, it's.
Well, you like transparent Labz. Like I like transparent Labz.
Yeah.
Those to me are ideal proteins.
Right.
Minimalist and clean as heck. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can't have those other ones and act like I'm on my 100% grind, I guess.
Really? You feel like you're not
like
eating.
I mean, not
outside of your regimen if you have a protein with inclusions. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
Well, it's like protein it's not as bad nearly as this, but protein bars are those are
trash.
So many of them.
Trash.
99%.
I agree. 100%. Yeah. There's only 2 that I consider clean. Transparent Labz and Papa Steve's. And I mean, those are
the others don't have the amount of, when I'm talking about the proteins that we're talking about, I guess those
West bars.
Those carbs are not as high and all that, but they're still, whatever's in there extra is weird to me. So,
yeah. So you're good without the inclusions.
No, I preferred without the inclusions.
You prefer without the inclusions. Yeah. It's certainly enjoyable and, like as a flavor thing and stuff. But yeah, I'm with you. Like a good tasting traditional protein is fine with me.
Yes.
And they've learned how to make proteins taste really good now without inclusions too. Like just regular chocolates and peanut butter chocolate, really good stuff. So yeah, so the other another trend is less servings per container is very popular now. Where a pre-workout would ease, and they're not all doing it. Like Insane Labs, you just got one with 35 servings. Most of them are 20 now. And I've seen I got sent two 15 servings lately. 2 AN Performance sent me 2 pre's with 15 servings in a container. That's really low. I mean, you really go through a tub with 15 quick.
Yeah. Very quick. I mean, that's why it's good to have kind of, I mean, and just because I like to, I don't know, I get weird about taking the same exact thing every single day. So I like to have a little.
I agree. I think it's very easy for your body to get
Right.
immune to
That's what
one
it is.
pre-workout.
Yeah.
It's good to cycle them.
Yes. So when they ask if I cycle, I say yes.
Yeah, you cycle pre-workouts. What are you cycling? The Psychotic Gold and what else?
Psychotic Gold.
The Skull? Do you still have the
Just
Skull?
finished the Alpha Lion, or what do I
No,
call it?
Nutrition Wolf.
Nutrition Wolf. I always do that. Yes. Nutrition Wolf, and sometimes just coffee concentrate, actually.
Good.
Yeah. Just depends what I'm hitting.
So, so another one that's really popular is flavor collabs now. And you see this in the big name brands like Ghost and Rise, and a lot of them. They've built relationships with whatever marketing deal they have with like these big Little Debbie's or Oreo or Reese's or Welch's grape or these flavor collabs are freaking out of control.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure
people are very into flavors. They love that. Yeah, they love it.
Yep, they like it.
Yeah, so that's a big one, and it's kind of a cool thing, I guess, seeing the collabs, whatever. If they can get the flavors down, I think the supplement industry's come a long way with flavoring. I would personally like to see more natural flavors. I would like to see a trend go in the health and wellness direction where they are doing more of the transparent labs kind of route where there is more naturally sweetened stuff. But according to the people I know in the industry, with the products we like, whether they're Stim Junkie or Stim Junkie Daily, some of those flavors are so hard to mask, some of those stimulants and stuff with naturally sweetened.
You got to grit your teeth and bear it sometimes.
They're very hard, the naturally sweetened stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another trend that I see is the word euphoric gets thrown around so much on so many labels. It's freaking insane. Everything says euphoric energy or euphoric fat burning pre-workout or euphoric, pre-workout, euphoric tunnel vision, euphoric. And this stuff, they use the term so loosely because for something to really be euphoric, I mean, that's like, very few products are truly euphoric. I mean, unless you've experienced like real euphoria, most pre-workouts are not that,
I guess it's relative. Like if
it is
a beginner or something, even any caffeine, they might feel a little euphoric.
I guess that's true. That is a good point.
So, but then you build a tolerance to what euphoria is.
It is true. It's turned into such a marketing word, though. Everyone wants the euphoric, feeling that it's, and I guess, and why is that? Because do you think, we just like to get high, or do you think a euphoric feeling makes it
I don't know if
easier to
train? I don't know if the mainstream person really does. I think a lot of people, first of all, I know tons of people, most of the civilians that I know do not like beta tingles. They're scared of them. They're like, what's going on? Why is my skin itching and this and that?
Right.
So they want something that's just going to perk them up a little bit.
Paresthesia is the name of that reaction.
That's most of what I've heard. Now we're in, but the people who are watching and who are fans of yours are probably more in the world of like, they want that. And so why do they want euphoria? Yeah, I think that a lot of it is to feel good. It feels good.
It feels good, but does it give you more in the zone for training? Like, let's give them the benefit.
When you're in a better mood, you're more likely to want to do these things. Yeah.
True. And dieting too can put you in a bad mood if you're in a calorie deficit and you're feeling like junk. So anything to enhance your mood, make you feel better when dieting or cutting or this or that definitely helps too. No, I agree. So the other thing is, and this is a positive trend I'm seeing, a lot of companies are getting away from colored capsules or capsules of color, as we say. Yeah. I think that's good. You're opening the top. I'm opening a lot of fat burners now, nootropics. I pull out the capsules and they're clear. They're just vegetable capsules. They're not red or black or whatever. And
Right.
I'm really liking that. I think it's
Yeah.
absolutely completely unnecessary. You've already bought the product. What do you care what color capsules
It's
are
like
in?
when they started making ketchup green or something for kids. It's like you don't need to please
Right.
me with color schemes. Just give me what I need. Don't give me all these extras.
I agree. And it's the same with pre-workouts. Why do you need a freaking super blue liquid that you're ingesting? Or it's like you already bought it. What do you care after
Well,
that?
not
What
just
color?
what's the point of it, but what's it actually doing that could be harmful to you? And
Correct.
Those additives are definitely not going to.
It just seems unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. I mean, people will say, well, you take all those stimulants, but you care about a little coloring. It's like, yes, why do I need extra for no reason? Yes, I care. Why?
You should. Absolutely.
Right.
Care.
So that is a good trend, getting away from those colored capsules. And I'm seeing a lot more fully transparent labels. Not a lot of companies are sticking to prop blends anymore.
I see.
They are disclosing the dosages. They are telling you what you're taking. And I think that's a really good thing. Yeah. I don't think in 2024, 2025, companies really have no business hiding from us what we're putting in our body. And they'll claim that it's so nobody steals their formula or this or that, but I think it's BS. I think that
nowadays, 2024, 2025, you don't know if you're dating a man or a woman. So
no, but I want to
putting
know
in your
how
body,
much stimulants I'm taking. You don't need to know. You don't know what you're putting in your body.
Sometimes you don't know what you're putting in. You don't know what you're putting in too. You just
we're moving all towards transparency, dude.
I see. Okay.
This is going to be a year starting in January. A lot of transparency going on.
A lot of something. I don't know. I hope it's parency.
Yeah. So yeah. Fully transparent label are a good thing for the industry. Very good.
I think so. I like to know. It's true.
Yeah.
Put it on out there. Put it right at the top of your Hinge profile. Put it at the top of your.
Is this an issue in your life?
Yeah, it's become an issue.
Is it?
Yeah, most of my dates are not with the sex.
They're not fully transparent?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're prop blends.
They are very much mix and match.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. Next, the use of ashwagandha has gotten freaking out of control. I hate it.
I use an ashwagandha supplement.
Worst ingredient ever. Makes you lazy as heck.
Really?
It takes away, for me, must be ultra. Some people don't respond like me. I won't even take a product with it anymore. Ultra sensitive. I don't feel stimulants the same. I feel like there's a blanket over my brain where I have brain fog the next day. If I take a sleep supplement with ashwagandha, I feel like junk. I cannot shake it. Horrible ingredient. They're putting it in fat burners, pre-workouts, multivitamins. Transparent Labz just reformulated without it. Thank God. I'm so excited to use it now. It is being thrown around so easily, and it is such a tricky ingredient. So many people respond like I do. And I just think it's an ashwa beta horrible trash ingredient. I hate it.
I take it by itself, just ashwagandha every other day.
If you don't have any negative effects from it, then that is fine. I'm not saying some people love it and some people swear that it helps them. But there is a lot of us who have the same experience who absolutely hate the ingredient, and I'm one of them. Yeah, every time I take a sleep sup with it, it is just ruins me. Yeah, so the use has gotten out of control. Dosages of stimulants, I think, are out of control. I don't think it's uncommon now to see pre-workouts with 500 milligrams of caffeine and more. I've always had a rule on my channel where I've told all my viewers, if you cannot make a pre-workout pop like crazy with 400 milligrams or less, I don't think it's a great product. I'm not saying that the products with 500 or more are bad. I'm just saying you should be able to make a really good pre-workout with 4 or less.
It's been done. It's done all
Most
the time.
of them.
It's done most of the time, and therefore that would be giving more adverse effects than anything.
Yes. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah. So not just the caffeine though, all the stimulants seem to be out of control. The Ariogenesis, 500 milligrams you see all the time now is just the caffeine especially, and we talked about the citrulline. I think that people just think that more is going to one-up the next product, more. I don't know where you go from there. I just don't think it makes the products better necessarily. I don't think
it's also a setup. It's a setup for yourself. You should not want to have that much caffeine in your system because then you're going to just build a tolerance that
I don't. I hate it. People send me these pre-workouts to review, and I'm like, I'll take this for the review, and I never want to grab for that tub again because I feel guilty taking it.
Well, that's when it's especially important to only be taking something like that once in a great while if you're not going to take it at all, because you cannot take something like that on a daily basis.
But the thing is, dude, the things with 550 milligrams and all that, they don't hit any better. No. I don't feel more stimmed up than I do on a great product with 350 that's formulated correctly. Like, I've taken stuff with 550 that doesn't feel as good as that Nutrition Wolf you just liked.
Are they saying that it's 550 because they're also adding in other, not the caffeine anhydrous, but they're calling it the other? I see. So it's not necessarily...
Yeah, it's like multiple forms of caffeine, like dicaffeine malate, caffeine citrate, caffeine anhydrous. They'll do like 3 kinds of caffeine or 2 kinds of caffeine, and they'll add up to like 500 to 550 milligrams and stuff a lot of times. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it just my opinion. I think dosages of ingredients are just...
I don't think anybody's going to say 550 is better. I don't.
No.
There's not a good argument because all the best
The argument that they give is that the science shows that it's absolutely safe to take that much and there is no problem with it. And that's fine, but it's still, all it does is raise your tolerance. It doesn't make for a better product, in my opinion. Yeah. So, dude, we used to take pre-phase K1.
Yeah.
350 caffeine. Yeah. Hit 350. Blew your freaking head off. 3 great freaking supplement. Okay. So, the next one here, I have 5 left, and high dosages of GBB in fat burners. I hate this trend. I hate GBB. I hate sweating my nuts off like that uncontrollably. It is the worst feeling to me because I work out, stop working out, and then the sweating starts and I can't stop it for 2 freaking hours and I have to go to work. It is miserable. Anything to me over 20 milligrams is like a no-no. I can't stand it. I just hate it. Yeah. There's a sweet spot where it feels good. You're like, okay, I got extra sweat during my workout, and then it stops. I have found anything over 20 milligrams, I'm playing with fire, and I freaking hate it. And I am not liking the trend in high dosages of GBB in every supplement.
I've had bad experiences with it. I always do. Cold sweats and just feeling
a lot of negative side effects.
And antsy, and it's not good. It's messing with your sympathetic nervous system or something.
I'm sure it does.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I could sit in a sauna for like 2 hours and be cold still.
Yeah, correct. It's not good. Something's going on there that is not supposed to happen.
Right. So it's not, I hate that ingredient, especially at high dosages. So the other thing is there's this expectation that everybody uses nitrates now for pump things. I remember when I put out Maniaco pump, I was reading comments and people were like, I thought he was going to do something good with like nitrates or this or that. It's like, dude, not every supplement has to have the exact same ingredients. and there's this expectation people have that everything needs to have like the ingredients they want. And nitrates is a huge one. Nitrates are very effective, but it does not need to be in every single pump ingredient. So I'm seeing a lot of expectations of people for everything. Now, another one that I'm seeing, I got 3 more here, more recovery supplements and more hydration supplements. I'm seeing a big trend in companies all coming out with hydration supplements. The first one I ever used was Caged Muscle, the HydroCharge. That was my first one. And now I'm on I like I love the transparent Labz one because it's naturally sweetened and still tastes good. And I'm seeing a lot of companies are sending me just in the last 3 months. I think I've been sent 4 or 5 different hydration tubs.
I think that we're all pretty hydrated as far as if we're drinking enough water. I think that maybe where people are into the hydration products, the electrolytes and whatnot, is people who are drinkers. I think that it's like that night or the next day, they're probably wanting to have something that's going to replenish them because they know that they've been, depleted.
Interesting. I never even thought of that. So people
That's
who
what I'm
drink
thinking.
alcohol.
That's what I'm thinking as far as why supplement companies are getting more and more into it.
Wow.
I think
There's
that steering towards people who are like, oh, I want to avoid a hangover or I need to, boost myself up. Here's a way that I can do it after a night out.
well, I've never even seen them being marketed towards that, but they should market it. That would be a good idea, I guess. I think the argument to be made, what I see is that if you're a real athlete, no matter how hydrated you are, and you're doing an excessive amount of sweating, you're losing a lot of sodium and minerals in your sweat.
Yeah.
And water's not going to replenish that. And so having the sodium, potassium, and those minerals that balance each other out are beneficial. I mean, especially when you're doing cardio, sauning, lifting weights, whatever it is. So there are.
I got to imagine that the name Liquid IV came about as like we should be.
That's a major mainstream one. Yeah, they might market that one towards it. I haven't seen. I don't like that label. I don't think
I don't know. Yeah.
One I've seen on it.
I don't remember.
Right.
Lumen and Liquid IV.
Right. So the last 2 that I have here, I'm seeing an increase in caffeine and even daily pre-workouts. It used to be very common to see a pre-workout with 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Right.
And now dailies 50 up to 400 in what they're marketing as a daily driver.
I wonder if coffee companies are increasing their caffeine in their like is Starbucks raising the amount of caffeine that they have in their drinks? I don't know.
I just think there's more caffeine usage across the board. I think it's just people get desensitized and it's more and more caffeine. Yeah. And I don't think it's a great trend. I don't. It's just like it's just one of those things. Like, where do you keep going from there? That's the problem. They don't stop. They only keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah. What's your last one?
My last one is the label art is so cool on pre-workout tubs now. Mm-hmm. The designs on supplements are so innovative and cool. You see it with Panda, all the brands. There's a bunch of artists and they crush it. They have 3D prints on the tubs. They are just like works of art. These
there are some cool ones for sure.
Very cool. Yeah.
One thing that I think that, and you just said that the term sleep supplements, I think that's something that a lot of companies got into that didn't before.
Right.
What a lot of them had was ZMA. That's like when I was growing up getting involved just in like working out in my 20s, ZMA was like that's what you'll take to rest, recover, and whatever. Now it's like bigger formulas with many more ingredients and stuff.
Right. And a lot of them include ZMA in their things. But according to David Fredrickson, the studies on ZMA are super iffy and it's been kind of a BS thing.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Zinc and magnesium, I think that's what ZMA is, right? So I take at night just a zinc and magnesium individually. I take both
Well,
of them.
ZMA is zinc, magnesium, and B6.
And B6. I see.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
B6. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it's helping me or not. But I know that that there are a lot of benefits to have from like magnesium and zinc other than sleep
Yeah.
too.
I take zinc and magnesium daily in my supplement regimen. I mean, definitely. I just don't know for sleep alone what the
if it's promoting deeper or if it's
right.
recovery.
I guess zinc's good for hormones and stuff. There's benefits. So yeah. So those are all the trends I'm noticing. Some good, some bad.
Right. I agree. There are definitely both ways, and it would be good for us to talk about, I guess, trends at some point on just health and wellness in general.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, cool.
That's it. Anything else?
That's all. Just gonna keep fighting the good fight, get better, start working out tomorrow. Hopefully, even if I'm not feeling well, I'll get a little something in and go from there.
Sounds good, man. All right. Love you. Love you all. God bless you guys. Together, let's get this dang muscle. Let us know what you think. If there's any trends that we're missing that we left out, leave it down below in the comments and hit the dang like button. Thanks for joining. We are out.